part of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. They start the drive with Cook. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play, second down.
But from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Cousins' throw complete to Rager. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. An early task, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short, they go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
A confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because
pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, the very first thing they told us, Charles, was we need to apply pressure early, and I would call that early pressure a nice sack to start the game.
And on the other sideline, I just have this image in my mind of the head coach on the headset with the offensive coordinator asking him if that's exactly what he saw in his mind when he called that play. And if so, is it going to be like this all day? That's a tough one right there.
3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12. Now it's Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
Now here's a throw that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Cousins on 3rd and 2. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. The job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Yeah, they were in field goal range the last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold.
Now how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The Packers had 0-3 here to begin the campaign, and you hate to have to say it this early in the season, but getting close to must-win time, is it not?
And I totally understand.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
They'll run for it with Dillon. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. Thought they might throw the football with a little chunk that they had remaining on 4th down, but they ran it, they got it.
And the reason they were able to get it done, he ran that play with conviction, didn't he? Understood he would get a little bit of help from his friends up front, but it was really on him to go ahead and make the power move and get it done, and that he did.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Wilson. Big loss here as he's taken down. And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Throwing is Wilson. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by a Caleb Evans. And the Vikings are going to take over here up near the 40. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching the bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen?
And the 3rd interception thrown by Cousins. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Running right, Jones. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Play action. Now Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. No score after one on EA Sports. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal. Now Jones. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
If you're going to keep these guys out of the end zone, you've got to be able to commit to stopping the run, and that's a nice job there getting the safeties involved in run support.
Second down and goal. Wilson. This is caught. And it's a Packers touchdown. Denzel Mims, his second touchdown on the season. And the Packers post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Extra point by Mevis is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Brought down that time by Quay Walker.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Cook again. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
Up the middle, it's Cook. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for.
And this time he used his quickness to make a play.
Cousins from the gun on third. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They'll run for it. Cook. Dalvin Cook turned away on fourth down. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. And even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means he's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Wilson, he's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is caught. Touchdown. And sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money. Extra point by Mevis is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Cousins. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 24-yard line. They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Meanwhile, Cousins throw complete there to Thomas. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Play action now. Cousins. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. From 17 yards out. And the Vikings are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. And it's a Packers touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Packers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by Mevis is up and good. And it's now 21-7. After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Quay Walker. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half end. Touchdown, Packers!
Romeo Doubs as the first half is winding down. And the Packers will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to...
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Packers are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Mevis is up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. This is taken just shy of the 10. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The second half starts with a carry by Jones. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Takes it to about the 37.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. They'll try the right side with Jones. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
From just shy of midfield, Wilson. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late.
And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big play there for Minnesota. And even 40 yards. Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in the cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
From the 38, Cousins. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Fourth down, Cousins. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he is going to pick up the Vikings' first down as they pick up a big chunk of yards to boot. 18 of them. From the red zone now, Cousins. And his throw here is incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there. And that'll bring up second down. To throw is Cousins. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Back to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Cousins to throw for it on 4th. Looking long for Thomas. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Green Bay, Wisconsin is the spot. 3rd quarter inside Lambeau. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 3rd and 2. Now Wilson. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Following the interception, Cousins. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Cousins. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Throwing is Cousins. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a 1st down. They go play action. Cousins. This is caught, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Michael Thomas, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. An inside give to Jones. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson, he's going to float this over the middle, deep. And intercepted. Wilson's 3rd of the game. Picked up by Joejuan Williams. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
On play action, Cousins. Buying time, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Cousins now. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice, long, soaking hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. The Vikings on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to...
For Justin Jefferson, incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. That flag accepted, and it backs. A little bit. And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. Cousins. This one brought in by Jefferson. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. And now here is another interception. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And the Packers are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Here's Jones again on 2nd down. And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Cousins. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Cousins to throw it. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
The offense on 3rd down, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing, Cousins. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And he is going to pick up the Vikings' first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. To throw, Cousins. There again is Thomas. They've gone to him a lot. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. 2nd down at 6 now from the 42. They'll throw again. Cousins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
Setting up the screen for Cook. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Touchdown, Vikings. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Vikings 21. Sam Martin set to kick off.
Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Now, all of a sudden, we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown. And what was a comfortable lead at halftime, it's down to a 2-score game.
And so the obvious thought is they've got to ramp things back up again. Got to get the offense into high gear. But we've seen this before. When you've kind of been in shutdown mode for a while thinking that you're okay, it's hard to mash the gas again and have everything work perfectly. They've got to flash together a good drive right here and now.
Because defensively, got to be feeling confident. They haven't allowed a point this half. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. They'll go again to Jones. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 2 yards, good enough for a first. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On the move to his left. And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Can almost see inside his face mask there, the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. So that not just important in the fact that it widens their lead, but really that was a textbook job of just hanging on to the football.
And we know all the time that coaches talk about time of possession. Sometimes it's a stat that doesn't matter much, but in this drive, it matters a lot. They want to reduce time and score points and lock this game down.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
He'll get this right back to Rager. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. First down. Here's Cousins. And, boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
After what they've faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And the Packers are going to get it back here just past the 35. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception. And I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is some...
And that's caught inside the 35. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one